Organizations of all sizes can use disruptive technologies such as ChatGPT, for example, to provide great customer service. For example, they can use artificial intelligence. Today, we have available LLMs, large language models, that allow us to use models developed by large organizations, large companies, for our own purposes. These general purpose models allow us to create unique models for our particular industry. If I have a new employee working in customer service, I would like this employee to provide all the expertise of the organization to the customer from day one. Unfortunately, that's not always the case. Sometimes only the most experienced employees can provide that to customers. To provide that now, we can use these models. We can create a unified model for our company that will incorporate all our experience, all the details of our products and services, and that will give high quality service to our clients. They will be impressed whether they are talking with the most experienced employee or with the newly started employee in the organization. At the same time, companies can also use RPA tools, robotic tools that allow them to automate the most repetitive, boring tasks that employees sometimes have to work on. That's going to free up human resources for more value-added activities. Finally, companies can also apply analytics. There is a lot of data today that companies can collect from customers' interactions, and that data can actually be used to generate value, to gain deeper insights into customer behavior, preferences, and needs. That can help us to optimize pricing, service delivery, for example, and later on to create personalized and proactive offers. Once upon a time, there was a company called Blockbuster. Blockbuster used to rent movies, and there were thousands of these stores across all America. The company was very successful, and they thought, rightly so, that they would continue following that path. Yet, there was a small company called Netflix, and the most company wanted to emulate the model that this company was being very successful at. So guess what? At the beginning, the company was very dismissive of this new initiative of using the internet to provide video services to the clients. In fact, Netflix offered itself to be sold to Blockbuster for $50 million, yet the company rejected that approach. Years later, guess who's laughing? Netflix was the company that was able to embrace change. They were able to embrace change because they were a startup. They wanted to try something new. They wanted to try the new technologies that were available. And at that moment, when you saw the internet really disrupting our lives, they thought that video services like that would be the next step for the interaction with customers. So this legacy baggage that large organizations have sometimes, this success bias that they feel that they are so complacent, that they had success in the past years and they feel that this success will continue in the future, sometimes works against them. And that is something that all organizations need to be careful about, because we always need to be monitoring market trends, customer expectations, new technologies, and that's something that we need to embrace. For that to embrace, we need to start from the top. CEOs need to be always look at what's out there to see what the competition is trying to do, see what my suppliers are offering to us, to see what's happening in the market overall. That's the only way how a company is going to stay up there. The metaverse is the next stage of the internet. In the same way that 40 years ago, nobody thought that we'll be spending so much part of our lives working on the internet, connecting with friends through the internet, now we feel that the metaverse is going to be the next stage. So equally, in the future, we'll be spending quite a bit of time in the metaverse. Let me give you an example. My children, for example, they play games, Roblox, Ignite, many of them. And all these games involve technology, and many of them are the metaverses that we have availability of today. Guess what? When they grow up and they go to school and they start working, they won't leave that space. They will want to continue interacting with friends, colleagues, students, teachers through this media. So the metaverse, it's going to take over. It's no longer a space only for gamers. Now it's going to be something that all of us, all companies, small, medium size, and big, will take advantage of. How? Reaching out these new audiences. If I want to advertise a product, I cannot use radio. I cannot use newspapers. Nobody's reading newspapers today. My kids get news from these games. They socialize through these games, and they will want to study, to get information in the future through these metaverse-like environments. So that's what companies can do. I sell physical products to physical customers. Guess what? In the metaverse, I will think about creating virtual products that also my customers will want, because they will also live in virtual worlds. They will have virtual houses. They will buy a virtual car to go from one place to another. And for that, you need to dress up. I will give a speech in the metaverse, so I need to have a virtual suit, a virtual tie. That's a new world of opportunities for all companies. So if I wanted to expand to have, let's say, stores all over the world, I don't need to have stores in every city in the world today. I can have a big store in the metaverse in one particular offering already in these companies, and that will be accessible by clients and customers from all over the world, who will be able to see, to be exposed to my physical products and also to my virtual products. If they want to enjoy an experience in the metaverse, they can buy virtual shoes like Nike is offering today. Or if they want to really run in a track, they can buy my real offering shoes. So that's the benefit of the metaverse, creating a new universe of opportunities for my products and services. When you think about CBDs, let's think about how difficult today is to transfer money. If you have a relative in another country and you want to send, let's say, $100, how long is it going to take? Days? Hours? How much are you going to pay? 1%? 2%? And yet we are in the 21st century. That is something that is going to change with technology. And today, cryptocurrencies are one alternative, but these currencies are decentralized, and these are not backed by any particular authority. CBDCs come along. CBDCs are going to be central bank digital currencies backed by central banks all over the world. China, Korea, many different countries already are really pursuing this path, offering these CBDCs, allowing people to finally eliminate cash. Now, that's going to be super helpful when you think about transfers, because this is going to be faster, more efficient, and that's going to be a great advancement for companies and people, because all of us need to send money and receive money. So CBDCs will create great opportunities for companies, because it will offer them faster, cheaper, and more secure ways to make and receive payments. It's going to also enable organizations to access new markets and customers, especially those who are underbanked, those who don't have bank accounts, for example. And also CBDCs will enhance the transparency and traceability of these transactions. Of course, financial services companies face a challenge, because they might think that central banks will take over money, but that's not exactly the case. You don't see central banks today offering bank accounts. So banks, financial service institutions, still will have a very important role to play, even though CBDCs will be managed by central banks and will definitely have great visibility in the movement of the monetary system all over the world. The example of Blockbuster is great, because that gives you an idea of asking yourself, where am I? Which business am I in? And what's my future? So when you think about any digital transformation effort, you need to think about a digital strategy, which is basically a roadmap. What's your vision? What are your goals? What are your priorities? And then that's going to help you define initiatives for digital transformation. Your digital transformation strategy should align with your overall business strategy and address, of course, the needs and pain points of your customers, employees, and partners. A digital strategy should be flexible and agile, allowing experimentation. Again, everything will start from the top. The CEO will need to provide strong support for a successful digital transformation. They should communicate the vision, the value of this, allocating resources and budget, empowering the employees, supporting the teams, and monitoring and celebrating success. This has to be a priority. Technology is evolving so fast. 15,000 years ago, we didn't have agriculture. 1,500 years ago, we didn't have any type of machines. 15 decades ago, we didn't have combustion engines. And 15 years ago, we didn't have smartphones. Today, we have all of that and more. And these time frames are accelerating. We have to be ready for that. So we have to think about our own digital transformation. When you think about Web3, we have to think about a potential path for the evolution of the internet. Today, if I open an account with any social media service, for example, LinkedIn or Facebook, the company that offers this service owns my information. I cannot take my users, my assets from one particular platform to another. I will need to start from scratch. So when you think about decentralization, Web3 is one answer. And when I say that, it means that there are going to be many different answers. That doesn't mean that the whole internet is going to move towards a Web3 structure, a decentralized structure, because there are some applications where we still need decentralization property. However, there are going to be some applications when, for example, we can leverage the blockchain. When you think about producers of coffee in Colombia, and they want to trace where this product is going, and also give their final clients the assurance that this coffee is coming indeed from Colombia, that's a great example where blockchain can be used, because this traceability property is very valuable there. And it serves clients because I know the provenance of my products, and it serves the producers who know and guarantee clients the quality of their services. So blockchain can provide these type of applications, and this is called the Web3 world that we can see in some applications. It's not exactly something that all companies we need to leverage, but when you think about registries, for example, land registries, when you think about elections, when you think about producing supply chain, when you think about tracing records, that's the type of examples when Web3 applications will have a great impact in the future. People talk today a lot about artificial intelligence and the impact that AI, new technologies will bring to the world. I'm particularly more excited about the opportunities that quantum computing will bring to us. And you will say, well, we still don't have these computers, and that is correct. Companies around the world are developing right now the next generation of computers. And if you think about the stage of the progress of quantum computing today, we're still in the 40s or 50s. If you think about classical computers, when these took a big space, maybe the size of a block in the city, and when you turn on these computers, the lights across the city will flicker. That's where we are today. However, we can see that in these 80 years, classical computers advanced a lot. That's the type of progress we're going to see also with quantum computers. And why are these so exciting? Imagine something. Every time you go to your bank account online, you need to sign in. You enter a username, you enter a password. As soon as you enter this information, the connection with your bank becomes secure. SSL, you will see a little block on the address in the browser. Imagine a technology that is going to be able to unbreak this security. That is quantum computing. There is an algorithm that is able to de-encrypt the information that is going to be communicated between you and your bank. That is the power of quantum computers. Of course, as it is powerful in breaking these communications, it equally will also be powerful in many other applications. For example, think about a salesman problem. We want a salesman to visit a number of cities in a particular country, let's say 20 cities. Today, there is no way to obtain the optimal solution that is going to minimize the distance, the gasoline consumption, or the time, for example. There is no way to find the optimal solution, so we only have approximations. With quantum computers, we'll be able to set up a system that will be able to find the solution in seconds or minutes. That is the power of quantum computing. And why is it so powerful? Because we are leveraging nature. We're leveraging quantum mechanics in the universe. The world is quantum. You and I are 70% water. Water behaves in the quantum world. That's the behavior of particles at the microscopic level. That is the type of properties that we can leverage to create a new way to compute. And that is going to be fantastic when you think about solving problems that are so difficult or almost impossible to solve for classical computers. When you think about the future of technology, we think about constant change. And unfortunately, technology is neutral. It can be used for good purposes and also it can be used by bad actors. Cybersecurity will remain a big challenge for all organizations. And as it was in the past, the first thing companies need to focus on is to invest in cybersecurity. Companies will need to invest in robust cybersecurity measures to protect their data and their systems. They will need to use multi-factor authentication, firewalls, intrusion detection systems, and so on. The second important step is going to be to educate your employees. We have seen throughout history that employees are the weakest link in the cybersecurity infrastructure of an organization. So we need to educate our employees about cybersecurity risks and best practices. Equally, we need to stay up to date about threats. The threats in the cybersecurity world are constantly evolving. So we need to make sure that businesses stay up to date. We need to include subscriptions to security newsletters, blogs, attending cybersecurity conferences, and being alert about, let's say, this security posture. We need to make sure that companies regularly test their security posture, meaning that they need to allow good hackers, ethical hackers, to come to our organization and to test our defenses through penetration testing, vulnerability scanning, and other important tools. We need to have a plan in place. In the event of a cyber attack, businesses need to have a plan to respond quickly and effectively. This plan will need to include steps to restore, contain the damage, restore systems, and investigate the attack. Overall, we live in a world where technology can be used for good and bad. We need to be prepared to take advantage of the technology, and also we need to be prepared to defend our information systems because the viability of our organizations depend on it.